Hi, I'm Latangela on behalf of Cumulus Media today with none other than Michael W. Victorian, a man who needs absolutely no introduction when it comes down to doing community service and community outreach. But I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. How are you?
I'm doing well.
That's good. Now, look, you've been busy, and I'm sitting here going through some of this, and I said the bio is nothing short, nothing less than a phone book, but I'll just give you a brief rundown on him. Michael W. Victorian. Now, he is the immediate past president and chairman of the board of the 100 Black Men of Metro Baton Rouge, Ltd., and a senior client executive at CMA Technology Solutions. And prior to joining CMA Technology Solutions, it states that you worked at IBM for 30 plus years in sales. Like, you've just been that busy.
That busy, right.
But you've always found time to give back to the community. And under your leadership, the 100 Black Men of Metro Baton Rouge, they integrated this program called Wise Guys. Tell us a little bit about the program Wise Guys.
Well, Wise Guys, we instituted this program in July of 2016. It is a collaboration between 100 Black Men of Metro Baton Rouge and the State of Louisiana Office of Public Health. As all aware citizens should be aware, Baton Rouge leads the nation in terms of HIV.
Right.
So this is a preventative program where we have men going out and talking to young men between the ages of 13 and 17. Because it's determined that that is the profile of individuals that have the highest rate in terms of HIV. It is one of the programs under our health and wellness program. In the 100, we do 4 basic things. We mentor, education, health and wellness, and economic development. So under our health and wellness program, we instituted this particular program. We're into our second year. It's a 3-year funded program. It is our plan to continue this program throughout. To combat HIV, you have to have preventative measures. So you have to get out into the community. You have to share with these young men in terms of STDs, healthy relationships. So it's not just an HIV program, but it has to do with other STDs. It has to do with just, men teaching young men how to have healthy relationships.
Right. And without a doubt, we know your heart and we know your persistence throughout the year. But when you're out and you're recruiting members or even the youth to be a part of your programs, what have been some of the most difficult challenges?
Well, in terms of the recruitment of our youth, is having them to come in and understand that we don't do an event with them, right? Mentoring is a lifelong process. Matter of fact, we pride ourselves on mentoring the 100 way, a lifetime experience.
Right.
So in our mentoring program in Project Excel, we try to recruit young men starting in possibly 5th grade.
Oh, wow, as early as 5th grade?
As early as 5th grade. Because one of the things that we want to do is we want to have a relationship with that young man and his family, and a contractual relationship, right? That we want to be in your life forever. Because not only are we trying to mentor these young men, we're trying to replace ourselves with these young men when they grow up.
Molding new leaders.
Right, exactly. And our mentoring programs not only focus on the young men, but on the family holistically and on their own. We have a motto called "What they'll see is what they'll be." We are probably one of the only organizations. You have several organizations that focus on young African American men as referred as high risk. We try not to refer to them as high risk.
Right.
We just like to consider ourselves the finished product of what you want those young men to be.
I love it.
Right. So for them they got to see that, right? And they have to understand that if I did it, if somebody else did it, they can do it too, and we have to help them along the way in doing that.
Role models that we see, role models that we can touch, role models that we can talk to. And one thing I love about the 100 Black Men, I see that you're always out and about and you're willing to meet them where they are, but you're willing to work with them to take them where they need to be.
Correct.
And that's big. I'm not just going to give you something and leave you here. I'm willing to work with you, walk hand in hand. And you have so many other programs like the ACT prep. I know that you do back to school drives, the health and wellness, and we can't say thank you enough for all that you do. And if you could reach anybody right now and ask them to be a member, what would be that selling point right now to say why it's so important to come and be one of our leaders?
Well, First of all, we would ask that you be a leader in whatever aspect that you're going to be, your church, your fraternity. But if you're inclined to join our organization, if you're inclined to be a member of the 100 Black Men of Metro Baton Rouge, we would love to have you. Our process is an application process.
Right.
Obviously, we do background checks because we're dealing with children.
Yes.
Right. One of the key things is all of our members do a assessment fee, because we're not going to ask you to do anything for us that we're not willing to do for ourselves and our children.
Right.
Right. But it is a group of men. We're about 80 to 90 members strong, and we ask you to come in and do one thing. Whatever treasure that you may have, we just want you to be able to give it back to these young men, because as individuals that have been blessed, as men that have been blessed, we actually have an obligation to give something back to these young men. We got to stop just looking out and saying that we can't talk to them. We have to. If we can't talk to them, who can talk to them?
Who's going to talk to them?
Exactly.
And you know, they say behind every strong man, there's a strong woman. Shout out to none other than Kathy Ann, my co-worker, and his beautiful wife that I always call Mrs. Universe. When I tell you she is a direct reflection of community outreach service and just a ray of light as you are, I commend you both, a true power couple, and the world needs to see more of you. And on behalf of Cumulus Media, we would like to present this award to you today. It reads Cumulus Baton Rouge Community Excellence Award. This Community Excellence Award is presented to none other than the Michael Victorian for your dedication and service in the Baton Rouge area. It's a small token of our appreciation, but we love you. And anytime you need anything, the doors of the Cumulus Media family, it's open.
Thank you so much, and I accept this not just for myself, but on behalf of all the guys that are in the 100 Black Men of Metro Baton Rouge, as well as all the members that are in our 90-member chapter throughout the continental United States, England, and the Caribbean.
Awesome.
So thank you very much.